All right, good morning guys. I'm gonna do another walkthrough today of my process for my client. I wanna show you her hair. She's got some old color here. You can see her natural appears a little bit darker, and her goal is to have some lighter highlights. The picture she showed me was a pretty light blonde, and we did not promise that we would get that today. We'll just have to see how light her hair will allow me to do today. And yeah, so I'm gonna kind of show you the process that I'm gonna do to achieve that on her, and I'll let you guys in on that, so stay tuned. Okay guys, I want to explain a little bit of how I'm going to do her hair today. I've already done one section of this type of technique. So I took a triangular section, and I'm actually just going to carve out the bottom point of this triangle, and I'm going to leave that as like a low light. And then for this section, I'm actually going to surface paint, and then my next section, I'm going to do a tease and weave. So it's a combination of surface painting and a tease and weave, and then with some left out. So this is going to be my paint. I showed you guys how I did a tease and weave before on another client, so I'll show you how I surface paint on this one. I'm using a Firmar Power Painter. It's my favorite to do big panel painting like this. And normally I would do a clay lightener, but I'm not this time because I need the lift for her dark hair. So I'm actually just using Oligo Extra Blonde and 20 volume. And I'm not bringing this too high because I don't want to really get into her natural regrowth, because then we're going to have a really nice bright yellow up there, and then you know how color lightens. This is going to be a lot warmer and darker. So I'm only saturating on her ends and feathering up. And don't forget the underside. You want to back brush that to blend as well. Okay guys, I want to show you this last section, how I do it to blend it and connect it. I've been working in two subsections on the right and the left side until I got to this top kind of triangle section. I don't know if you can see the shape of that, but yeah, it's a triangle at the top. So I married the two together, and now I'm just going to go horizontally and work my way up. This is a pretty important piece because it's going to veil over the entire back half of her head. So I'm gonna do like really good teasing and weaving up here, and then maybe I'll do one panel in between of a paint. So yeah, actually I'm gonna go thinner. Everything else has been pretty thick sections, but I like to go smaller here because it's, again, what you're gonna see that's on top of everything. Do a nice tease and weave. You don't ever want to push lightener into your tease section, into the tease. I feel like that's common sense, but it's not. It took me a while to figure that out. If you put lightener into the tease, you're gonna get spottiness because it's not gonna be saturated consistently lightened. And I'm like a heavy saturator, guys. If you do not saturate enough, you're gonna have inconsistencies. You're gonna have body lifts. It's just not gonna lift evenly. And then you're gonna have trouble toning because it's not gonna tone evenly also. Another thing I wanna point out about this application I'm doing on her today is I haven't folded any of my foils. There's a time and place for that. I do it all the time, but for her, for this, I did not wanna fold anything. I don't wanna cause any creasing. She has very thick hair, so I want to make sure everything's going to lift evenly. So yeah, we'll divide this last bit into 2 pieces. So the top piece is going to be another like baby light weave, tease and weave. So we're going to take this out the way. That'll be our last piece. And then this piece, we're going to do a surface paint on. So I'm still going to weave out almost a low light. And I am still going to tease a little bit. Let me see that. Just to get these little, she's got short little like new growth baby hairs that are fuzzy. So I'm going to get those out of the way. When you're surface painting, you want to lay it on thick. If you do not, you're going to again have spotty and consistent lift, and it's not going to all be the right amount of saturation to process evenly. I was told once in a class, and it stuck with me and I'll never forget it. It's the best way I feel like to describe it. It's like you're icing a cake. You don't want to see any of the cake. You just want to see solid icing. So very thick. That's why clays are really nice to work with this technique. And I typically do make a hybrid and add some clay in. But it does lift does slow your lifting. It weakens your product. You just don't get as much lift. Like for her being dark and colored, it would not be enough lift. Also because I was doing 2 different techniques, a weave and a tease, and then also a surface paint. I didn't want to make 2 different formulas. I could have, but I don't find it necessary because I have done this enough to know how to apply it. If you press the product in too much, you're gonna get spottiness. It just has to be right on the surface. That's why I like my brush nice and flat. And I'm only penetrating through the ends, making sure that underbelly is nice and blended as well. And I usually go back in and just make sure you don't see none of that cake. Last piece. I'm gonna put this on my Instagram TV because it's a longer video, but hopefully it helps somebody out there. All right, so last piece, this is literally our veil section, our very top veil. So she's got little baby hairs. I don't want to highlight those. We're leaving her rooty anyways, but anytime you highlight baby hairs or breakage, hers is not breakage, but anytime you lighten those shorter hairs, it's only going to draw attention to how short they are. Because light is going to draw attention and highlight, and dark is going to almost conceal, like same as makeup. So I don't want to show off someone's breakage around their face or their baby hairs. It depends on the look they're going for, but if they're leaving their color rooted and dark at the base, I just leave them dark. Move that out the way, and this is our last piece. Once I get finished with this piece, I'm gonna immediately go in and start checking the first ones I did. Just get a gauge how light they've gotten and how much time I might want to wait before I check her again. I'm kind of annoying with it. I usually will check my clients every anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. So sometimes it's every 5 minutes, sometimes it's every 10 or 15. It just depends on how their hair is lifting and if it is fragile, if it has been previously processed. You know, if I want to keep a close eye on it, I'll do it like every 5 or 10 minutes. And that goes by really fast when you finally get done applying and you're like sitting down for a second and finally using the bathroom and checking your phone and taking a sip of water. It's like that 5 minutes is gone in no time. But it's important to keep checking on them very often, because it can just be a few minutes between being totally perfect and being over processed. So important to never leave your client for too long. I'm gonna go ahead and check. Wow, she's lifting great. Really great. Never just check up here, guys. You can have virgin regrowth up here and have color down here and it look totally different, and you need to reapply on the ends. So definitely make sure you're looking at the whole piece there. That looks amazing. Hey guys, so I wanted to bring you in the color room to show you what formula I'm going to use. So I'm going to use Oligo Color Color. She's kind of like a level 8, a little gold, but really not that bad. She's not super brassy like I expected, having had lifted color. So what I'm going to use on her is a level 8 1-1, the double ash, and a level 9 in. I love mixing ash and neutral so that it's not too cool, but it'll help kick some of that gold out. So I'm gonna do equal parts. Aaron's laughing at me. Equal parts, and I'm gonna do the demi developer. So